Okay, we're back on to number 20 now. Now the open response. I will try to help you with these. Again, please seek help if you need it additional to these. Looking at this one, I have been kind of teaching you guys to take care of powers first. Not the only way to do these problems. But when this 2 comes through, it is not being multiplied by the 2. They actually come out to the exact same answer here, but be careful, it's because it's 2 squared. So what we have is 2 squared, then we have x squared, and then when we do that over here, again, that does not become negative 4. It's 4 to the negative first power, because there's a 1. 1 times negative 1 is negative 1. And then we have x to the negative fourth power. So that's how I've kind of taught you guys to take care of the first step. Now, if we look on here, I can highlight some things here. This is, get it the green, this right here are negative exponents, so we want to bring them down. So there's no fraction right now, but we're actually going to end up having a fraction in a moment. So what we have now is that 2 squared stays up top. I'm going to make it 4. X squared stays up top. But on the bottom now, we're going to bring this down, and it's going to be 4 to the first power. We're going to bring these negative 4x, negative 4 on the exponent down and make it a positive 4. Again, not the only way to do this problem. I want you to be aware. But if we look here now, 4 to the first is the same as 4. So when I try to those just cancel off. And then when I look here, I have all positive exponents, but I'm not done because I see a variable more than once. So I'm going to say that this is bottom heavy. It's got 2 extra x's on the bottom. So I cross them out and I put an x squared there. Now sometimes this happens where everything cancels out. Don't forget, it's not that there's nothing there, there's really a 1 up there. So my answer to this problem would be 1 over x squared. All right, looking at the next problem, I'm going to try to do a better job with the highlighter here, get this yellow. We have 3 separate problems here. We've got 1 here, 1 with the x's, and 1 with the y's there. So we want to treat them separately. So here's the deal. Looking at 10 over 4, those do not move places, they just simplify as a fraction. So a 2 goes into both of those, so that's going to be 5 over 2. I am going to now work with the x's, and I'm going to take the negative 8 exponent and I'm going to move it up top. Now I don't know if this is doing too much, but hopefully you're hearing my teaching. There's 2 x's on top. I'm going to bring these 8 back up top. So if I have 2 and I bring 8 more, what it really is showing our work like this. But that's really 10 x's, so I'm just going to write it as x to the 10th power. Likewise with the y's, I've got 5 on top. I'm going to walk down that staircase of motivational posters, and I'm going to end up in the basement, and those 5 y's that were negative are now going to be positive. So I have y to the 7th power. 2 were already down there, I'm bringing 5 more. I've simplified my fraction. I have positive exponents, no powers of powers. That's my final answer to this problem. All right, now looking at 22. Now look at 23. Okay, 22 and 23. And I apologize, I think on your quiz here, some of you had a 23 and a 24. Okay, so don't get confused here. I have updated my version of the quiz, and it actually works out really the way it's supposed to. I made some mistake on the numbering, and I apologize. But if you look at 22 and this 23 right now, they are the same, but they're not. If you look between these two, multiplication. Look between these two, subtraction. That makes how you do the problem so different. So what we're going to do on this one is we're going to keep it as 2x plus 4, but we're going to bring that negative 1 that we talked about through. So that means it's negative 5x, and it's a negative 1 times a negative 3, which is a positive 3. So please be careful. If you were one of the people that had a negative right there, you didn't carry through, like you were supposed to, the negative 1. So now I combine like terms. 2x and negative 5x gives me negative 3x. Positive 4, positive 3 gives me a positive 7. All right, in the next problem, since it does not have any kind of addition or subtraction here, this is a binomial times a binomial, which is FOILing. So 2x to 5x is going to give you the 10x squared. outside negative 6x when you multiply those, inside 4 times 5x, positive 20x, and then last here 4 times negative 3 is a negative 12. And then when I combine like terms here, I'm going to get 10x squared plus 14x. All I do is I say I've got negative 6x's, positive 20x's. When I put them together, I got 14x's. And then I subtract 12. So at this point, you're pretty confident in saying, we're done with that second degree trinomial in descending order. I know. Cool. Wait, that's a frown. Cool. Okay, sorry, moving along here. Rewrite in scientific notation. So what you don't see on this problem given to you is the decimal. Okay? The decimal is actually right here. So what we want to do is we want to take that decimal and move it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I want to stop so that I have 4.23. I have one digit to the left of the decimal here. Well, we're going to scientific notation, so we know it's times 10 to the, well, how far did we move? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 places. So it's going to be a positive 5. Again, it's hard to see there, sorry. Positive 5. What we want to notice is this right here, if I were going the other way, we would make it a very large number. And that's what we started with. So just make sure your answer is really kind of matching up with what we had at the beginning. This one here, most times we don't tend to make too many mistakes on these ones because we have, for some reason in our background, know that a negative exponent makes us move this decimal to the left once, twice. Well, if I move it twice, I'm going to have another 0 as a filler in there. So 0.0729 is the answer in decimal notation. Now this one's really fun. Some of you tend to kind of give up on your challenge problems. You say, oh, it's a challenge, I can't do it. I think you guys can all do this. I want you to realize something. X plus 2 cubed is x plus 2 times x plus 2 times x plus 2. So whether you know how to do this problem or not, anything cubed is that thing times itself 3 times. Those of you who were doing this, which I saw a lot of on the quiz, you brought the 3 through. Remember, we don't bring the 3 through over addition. We have to rewrite. Now, if you notice, math a lot of the times is taking a complicated problem and breaking it into a simpler problem. Right there. So leave the x plus 2 for a moment. It's just a binomial that's hanging out. But now we're going to simplify this by using FOIL. If I FOIL this now, x times x is x squared. Outside, 2x. Inside, 2x. So I'm going to combine those together right now and make that a 4x. Outside 2x, inside 2x, that's really 4x. And then the last is going to give me plus 4. So if I FOIL that inside, or those last two binomials first, I'll now have a trinomial. And hopefully you're noticing this is a problem that we've done on this quiz already. A binomial times a trinomial, you can now take that x through. So this problem was nothing too complicated, you just needed to know the routine. So when I do that, that'll be x cubed plus 4x squared, and then plus 4x. And then when I bring the 2 through, plus 2x squared plus 8x, and then plus 8. Now combining like terms, I have x cubed. I've actually got now 6x squareds. I've got 12 x's, and I have a positive 8 towards the end. So this would be the solution, and we are done with that third degree 4-term polynomial in descending order with coefficients of 1, 6, 12. That's cool. All right, I hope this helped. Again, I will be YouTubing the review evens. Okay, so I hope you check that out, and I hope you seek me for some help if you need it. All right, thank you.